Chihuahua. Yeah. Circle of life, and it moves us all.
We are all connected in the great circle of life.
So true, so true. Hey everyone, Brandon here, and well, I just want to say Happy New Year to everyone out there. I hope everything went well for you guys, and also that I have a new computer now, so this is my very first review with working with this new computer, and it's on a movie that I should have reviewed a very long time ago. This is my review on The Lion King. Now, The Lion King, of course, is a very famous Disney film that won a whole bunch of awards and released back in 1994. And it's a real shame because I cannot remember seeing this film in theaters. Oh well. So anyway, the story follows, as most people know, about Simba, who's a young lion cub who's told that he will one day rule over the Pride Lands by his father, Mufasa. And so, because he knows this, he gets very cocky about it. However, there's a problem. Scar, Simba's uncle and Mufasa's brother, claims that he should be the next one to rule over the Pride Lands. So what does he do? Plans on kills Simba and Mufasa. So after a series of events, Mufasa dies, and Simba blames himself for his death. So he runs out of the Pride Lands. It's out there where he meets Timon and Pumbaa, who live a carefree lifestyle they call Hakuna Matata, meaning no worries. And so they tell Simba to just leave the past behind him and go live out his carefree life. Which he does for a couple of years until he's an adult. But he can't help but have the past eat away at him. So, will Simba ever go back to the Pride Lands and take his place on the throne? Or will Scar destroy the Pride Lands and end the circle of life? I know I say this a lot, but this is definitely one of my favorite films of all time. It's right up there, right next to All Let's Go to Heaven and Balto. It's definitely one of my favorite animated films of all time, and definitely my favorite Disney films of all time. I mean, the characters are great. Simba, who's played by two actors, his young self is voiced by Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I mean, he's great. He's perfect for the role as young Simba, kind of cocky, kind of arrogant. This happens to be his actual first role in the movie. And also, the adult Simba's played by Matthew Broderick, who is not necessarily a great actor, but his voice fitted perfectly for adult Simba. And of course, there's legendary James Earl Jones. His voice is just phenomenal for Mufasa. I mean, he goes from the point of being kind of like a protective father figure to a wise man, but that happens to be Rafiki's role, so... And of course, in a film like this, there's always an evil villain, and that's Scar, who's played by Jeremy Irons, who sounds a lot like Alan Rickman, you know, the guy who played Hans in Die Hard. Which is funny, because right after this, he would go on to play a villain in Die Hard sequel, and he's supposed to be related to Hans, who's played by Alan Rickman, the guy who Jeremy Irons sounds like. Yeah, I'm a nerd, I really don't care. Of course, the two characters that no one ever forgets watching this movie is Timon and Pumbaa, played by Nathan Lane and Ernie Sabella. I mean, they're just the comic relief of the film, but it felt like that after this, they had an impact on other films as well, because I would watch other movies and see like either one or two of these comic relief characters. I mean, first Lion King with Timon and Pumbaa, then Muck and Luck and Balto, then Luigi and Pavi and Repo. I mean, doesn't anyone see the connection here? Well, in any case, though, I mean, Nathan Lane as Timon, he's just hilarious. I mean, he tries to be funny, tries to be sarcastic, but it just doesn't get to you. And also, Pumbaa, he's great. He's kind of a lovable guy. I mean, sure, he's a warthog and he stinks. It's not really someone you want to hang out with, but he's a lovable, fun character. And also, there are a few other voice actors as well. I mean, Whoopi Goldberg is in this film as well as one of the hyenas known as Senzi, Benzai, and Ed. And Ed's actually played by Jim Cummings, who doesn't really say anything, but really just laughs most of the time like a maniac. The music for the film is really unforgettable. It's one of the best I've heard in an animated film. And that's a lot saying, because it's actually one of the reasons why this film was nominated for so many awards, especially have someone with Elton John helping you out. In any case, though, most of the songs are very unforgettable, from the Circle of Life in the beginning, to the villain song that Scar sings, Be Prepared, which is actually a song that my brother likes to sing a lot.
And injustice deliciously square. Be prepared.
And Hakuna Matata, sung by Timon and Pumbaa.
Hakuna Matata, what a wonderful phrase. Hakuna Matata, ain't no passing craze.
And of course, the very last song, Can You Feel the Love Tonight, which is basically a wonderful song sung about Simba and Nala's relationship. Oh, I forgot to mention Nala. She's basically Simba's love interest, and she's voiced by Aurora Kelly, and she's just perfect. It's really hard to find anyone who has not watched The Lion King, and of course everyone has their own opinion about it. My friend Daniel was one of the first people to do a review on The Lion King up here, and so I figured I should have done so as well, even though it took me 3 years. What the heck's wrong with me? But there's someone up here on YouTube who's very famous named Confused Matthew who did a review on The Lion King as well. But he didn't have anything nice to say about it. And no, I'm not going to go on some giant rant saying, "Oh, why did he say that? How can he say that about The Lion King?" No. Confused Matthew is entitled to his own opinion. Because being a fan of movies, I know this. There's always going to be that one person where everyone else says that this movie is so great, it's one of the greatest films I've ever seen of all time. There's always going to be this one person who has a reason to hate the film. Or reasons to hate the film, because they just don't see the appeal of it, and that's understandable. So Confused Matthew is entitled to his opinion against The Lion King. This is my opinion against Chicago. I don't even understand why that film won Best Picture. But anyway, The Lion King is still a memorable film and definitely one of Disney's best. I mean, it's a film that everyone has seen, and it gave us one of the most memorable but also heartbreaking scenes of all time. And that just shows great filmmaking, especially when it's coming from Disney. And I also feel that this film just really stands out from the rest of the other films they have. I mean, with their other films, it seemed like the same format. Princess. Here, it was different. And also, because the film was such a success, it earned itself a sequel and a prequel, which I hope to review in the future very soon. So with that, if you haven't seen The Lion King, please do. It is one of Disney's best films ever. And if you haven't, you really are missing out on something special. Or maybe it's something a little bit heartbreaking as well. And so with that, I'd like to thank you all for watching this review. I'd like to thank All Dogs Go to Heaven and Lion King Fan for the request, which he made back last year. And I hope to start off this year right, and I hope that you all enjoyed this review. And I'll see you all next time.